Hello guys, it's Ryan Ho back with a video. Today I want to talk about 3 headphones. So we have the HyperX Cloud Alpha, which is taking up the $100 range. And this is just a basic headphone with a mic, nothing special. You get this inline controller that lets you mute or increase the volume, but that's about all the features it has. Then we go to the HyperX Cloud Orbit. This is a more premium gaming headphone, but it has planar magnetic drivers. And these drivers actually allow it to produce better sounds, and the bass and low end is also better. It's a different type of technology from the other two, which use dynamic drivers. And this headphone also has 3D features, so you kind of hear your music more like 3D oriented. And then it has 8 preset EQs, so you can kind of set different sound signatures for your headphones. So it's kind of like having 8 different headphones. And then last one we have is a Sony. This is Sony WH-1000 Mark II. This also has EQ, so you can actually change the sound signature as well. But yeah, this one is a wireless noise canceling headphone, and it's able to be taken with you outside when you go on a train or in a noisy environment, right? And this is also a $300 headphone. So we're going to compare these two $300 headphones to this $100 headphone. If you guys haven't liked and subscribed down below, it helps my video out, and about 99% of people who watch my videos aren't subscribed. So please help me increase those statistics. Only 1% of people are subscribed, which is kind of sad, but it is what it is. And let's get back to the video. So when you compare the sound quality of these three, which one is better, right? So first one I want to talk about is the Alpha and the Sonys. So the Sonys have an enhanced bass, so the bass is kind of more prominent, and you can kind of hear like the thump and the power. It kind of feel the rumble as well, but it's not very clear and it's kind of muddy. And I think that overall ruins the experience. But I think I might have found a reason why Sony does that. I'll tell you guys that later. And then this one has a more precise sound, so you can actually hear all the bass, but it doesn't have enough like power punch to it that the Sony does. But if I had to choose between these two, I think the Alpha is a little bit better, while the Sony comes in last place. And then for the Orbit, it has the best bass because the planar magnetic drivers are like 100mm drivers. They're really big compared to these Sonys and the HyperX, which is like 50 and 40. And this allows this headphone to push more air through the driver, so you kind of feel the air pushing to your ears. And then it also has the better thump and like power, and you can kind of feel it. It's like the Sony, but then it's also very precise, even more precise than the HyperX Cloud Alpha. And this makes this bass just really good, very clear and very punchy, and just overall it's like on a different planet. And then the next thing I want to talk about is like the mid-range. I think the Sony comes in last again. I think the Sony mid-range is kind of ruined by the bass. It kind of like creeps into the mid-range and makes it sound a little bit unclear, and it doesn't sound as natural as the Alphas. Alphas again are much more precise, much more neutral type of headphone, and the mids come in really, really well. And then of course the Orbit comes in first again. It's just overall, it sounds more natural to me, and that's the best way to describe it. It's very precise like the Alphas, but it sounds more natural. And then when it comes to the treble, once again, I'm going to say same reason for the Orbit. It just sounds more real life, like you're actually there, and it just takes the cake. And the second place actually goes to Sony this time. The Sony's treble is actually pretty good. I think it has a nice like airy feeling to it, and I think it does a pretty good job compared to the Alphas. Alphas are just kind of muted. It's not really a strong point. It goes for a more like smoother sound signature, so the Alpha definitely falls behind in this category. So overall, if I had to choose which headphone sounds the best, I mean, it's pretty obvious by now that I think the Orbit sounds the best. This headphone was actually manufactured by a company called Odyssey and then kind of branded by Hyperx. And Odyssey is like an audiophile company and they make really expensive high grade audio products. So that's why this thing sounds so good. And for $300, yeah, it does sound more like a $300 headphone than the Sony does. The Sony comes in last because although it has all these fancy features that I think that justify its price, the actual sound quality doesn't seem to be up to par. But I think the reason why the sound quality isn't up to par is mainly because of the use case of this headphone. I think a lot of people and like reviewers kind of compare this headset in like a quiet setting to, a normal headset in a quiet setting. But this headset is designed to be used outside in a noisy environment, like where there's cars, people walking around, like trains around you in an airplane. So the bass is kind of enhanced because if you're in a noisy environment, you want to be able to hear the bass. You want to hear the thump. You want to hear your noise over everything else. And I think that's why it's tuned like higher and more enhanced than the other two headsets. While these are made for like more quieter environments, so it can justify a balanced sound signature. So even though I think the Sony's worst one sounding of the bunch, it has its reasons why. So the Alpha comes in number 2 because it's balanced, but it could be a little punchier, it could be a little clearer, which the Orbit does do and takes the cake for the best headphone. Please like and subscribe down below. It helps my videos out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.